Thank you, commissioners. Have recovered. The chair had inquired whether or not there is a better picture of the person in this clothing marked EMPD. When I looked through the pictures, and we can scroll through, consistently he seems to have his back.
If I may, maybe look at 239.
239.
Yeah, and see if it's the same person.
Mr. Magagula, you at 239?
Yes.
At 239 at the top, there are three people, one with their back to us, but there are two gentlemen who now appear to be wearing blue. Are you able to identify any one of them?
Yes, I can see Bafana.
Which one is Bafana of the two?
Bafana Twala is the one who is facing towards us.
Is
They
he
are-
the,
Yeah, the one with a little bit there, he has made his mouth like there is a moustache there.
so I see one seems to be looking at something in his hand, and the second one seems to be interacting directly with this third person and reaching out or handing them over something. Of the two, which is Bafana? The one looking at whatever it is in...
The one stretching his hand with a gun holster in his leg.
That's Bafana.
Yeah, that is Bafana.
And Bafana's full name is
It's Bafana Twala.
Bafana Twala. If then I can go further at 240 still, there is somebody either placing into a box or taking out of a box something. Who is that, and can you tell what they're doing?
This looks like Mackenzie, and then the items that he's putting inside the box, I see them as cigarettes.
And lastly, then, if we go to page, we'll scroll quickly back to page 180. In fact, from page 179, there is a bag you described. And I understood you to say that they put the cigarettes in a particular bag, and you...
Yeah. This is the bag that I called it in English China bag. In our African language, Machangan bag.
Okay, if we go to page 180, I think we have a better picture. Is that the bag?
Yes, that is the bag.
Now, if we go further on, there are statements, I'm aware, in the docket that we don't necessarily have to go to, but some of those statements, and the complainant statement says they arrived, the EMPD members arrived and left in vehicles, and I think they describe them as golf vehicles. VW Golf?
Yes, they were driving onto vehicles.
And if we go to page 189, to your recollection and following, are these the vehicles that you say you understand them to have been driving?
Yeah.
And I think perhaps, lastly, it would be to page 193. And at 193, at the top picture, I see two people leaning against a white vehicle with a third next to an open back passenger door. Do you see that?
Yes, I see.
Are you able to recognize the people in the picture?
Yeah, the people on the picture, because I arrested them, I'll say those three members that were searching the shop.
Please say that again.
I'll say the three members that I see here is consistent with the other evidence that they are the one who were responsible of searching and packing cigarettes into the boxes.
And this would be, there are three of them now.
Bafana Twala, Adrian Norman Mackenzie, and Keisha Lee Stolz.
Okay. Well, the following pictures, I think, are about more of the same with the vehicles at different points. At page 211,
Are these still shots taken from the CCTV footage?
Yes.
and at page 211, we see what appears to be the vehicles driving. Am I correct?
Yes.
And perhaps to Commissioner Kumalo's question, Commissioner Kumalo, at page 226 is the report of a captain with the SAPS attached to the scientific analysis section of the Forensic Science Laboratory as a forensic analyst. And if you go to page 227, it lists at items 3.1 and 3.2 what was received by the laboratory. That's one SanDisk memory stick with a serial number and one DVD with a serial number. And then further down under paragraph 6, he or she then lists the photographs extracted from those clips there. Thank you. Mr. Magagula, then we go back to your page 13. And you had indicated that the matter has been provisionally withdrawn. Can you take your statement from paragraph 52?
Just before going to paragraph 52, there are the powers of subpoena. So I don't understand that a case that appears to be quite serious would be withdrawn because witnesses are not showing interest. Why can't the witnesses be subpoenaed?
I'll answer this question like this. This matter was not before court only for that day which it was withdrawn. It was previously at court for trial before the provisional withdrawn. Because these witnesses, when I was given instruction to subpoena, I went to the witness to subpoena. He told me that he's not interested. At some stage, this case was prosecuted. The prosecutor that I was given, it was not the prosecutor from the regional court in Benoni. This matter was appearing in Benoni. This case was allocated an advocate from the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution in the North Gauteng. So each and every time this case was appearing in Benoni, he was the one who was coming to come and prosecute it. So at some stage, because I failed to subpoena, because he doesn't want to sign my subpoena, and then I informed the court, and then they said that they are giving me an opportunity to re-subpoena him, to give him an ample time. On that day when we came out, I pleaded with my advocate because they told us that he went to Boxback to stock something. We went together with the advocate to look for him, and while phoning the victim, we looked for him, we did not find him there. We left. He said, Magagula, I'm giving you another opportunity for the 18. If he is not interested, you'll to post a statement regarding your predicament. And then I was given time. There is an attachment of my sapuna, I went there. The complainant was very, very disrespectful. I found him. I spoke to him about the sapuna that is needed at court. He said that, Magagula, you promised me that you're going to give me the remaining cigarettes that is in the SAP 13. You didn't give me. Now, I'm no longer interested in the matter. So the complainant was interested in what was remaining in the SAP 13. So based on that, he was no longer interested. I wrote the statement as per instruction of the advocate that if he is not interested, you must depose the statement. The complainant till today, I'm sure, even though it has been a long time, I have not gone to the shop. I believe he's still there.
So the long and short of what we are saying is that you did not serve the subpoena.
Yes, I did not serve him because he didn't want to. So in terms of posing him through the court processes, that will be the duty of the advocate to instruct me that let us serve him with warrant or whatsoever.
See, if there is criminality, as it is suggested there is, it appears to be serious criminality.
Yes.
It involves police officers. I do not think that the matter should end just like that, just because a witness is refusing to accept a subpoena. I do not believe that Ipid officers like you should leave matters at that just because a witness is refusing to accept a subpoena. Yes, complainants are crucial to criminal prosecution, but it's a criminal case which is at the hands of the state, which is why it will be state versus whoever, with criminal matters. So it's a public interest issue. It's not just about the complainant. And that is more so if it's a serious matter. It cannot just end just because a witness, because that's what a complainant is. Bottom line is they are a witness. So it cannot end just because a witness is not willing to accept a subpoena. Your comment?
I agree with you, Commissioner.
And again, I emphasize the fact that this involves police officers charged with criminality. It cannot end like that. Otherwise, our criminal justice system is imperiled. You wish to comment?
I agree with you. The only thing is to await the directives because my powers end when I'm given a task to subpoena and I go and subpoena and bring the results. So if the NPA gives me directive, what is the way forward? I will embark on what they have told me, but currently I cannot say I will go and arrest the person because it's not complying with what the court wanted to be. So if the directive...
You would not arrest at that stage. You would have had to serve the subpoena and report to court on the next date of appearance that I have served a subpoena, and it would then be the court that directs what should happen. And of course, failure to comply with the subpoena may result in another criminal process. Comment?
My comment is that the commissioner says that my duty was to serve. I did that. I cannot.
You said you did not. Remember, You said you did not. I asked you, did you serve the subpoena? You said you did not.
When I said not, it's because the complainant did not sign it. When I say I did not serve, it is that the complainant did not sign, he refused. Yeah, so it was my meaning that I did not serve. If he signed, I have served it. If he refused, even though I was with him, I did not serve. There is no signature of him because he is refusing to sign the subpoena, is what I was saying.
Mr. Magagula, perhaps can you turn to page 242 of still Annexure TLM?
To what?
242.
Thank you.
I find at page 242 an affidavit you deposed to. It would appear that you did so on the 18th of February 2025. And on a reading of that document, it would seem to suggest that it's talking to the issues that the chair is engaging you on. Perhaps if you look at that document and you remind yourself of the steps you have taken and what transpired on the dates that you referenced, particularly at paragraph 3 of that document. Might that help you? At paragraph 3, you say, on previous trial date to subpoena the victim, I found him in another shop and I explained the purpose of my visit. The victim was disrespectful to me and said he's not interested. The present visit, which was on 2025-0204, the victim was cooperative and he informed me in a human manner that he's not interested anymore in the case. Do you see that?
Yes.
So do you confirm, that's your affidavit? Yes. I think it says, I, Thulani Magagula, state under oath.
Yes.
So does this reflect the steps you have taken thus far, at least until, as at February 4th, 2025, to secure the complainant's attendance?
Yes. I confirm, and it shows that the attempt was not only made once, it was made several times.
Thank you.
It's a follow-up on the discussion with the chairperson, but from a slightly different perspective. As I've understood it, the Section 29 of the Ipid Act, and I think it was sub 1G, if I'm not mistaken, which speaks to corruption. Firstly, there's the obligation, I think in Section 29, in 29 rather, actually, I'm getting my sections wrong. Section 29 creates an obligation and it makes it an offense not to report something, right? It's 28 that sets out the different misconduct or offenses that Ipid has jurisdiction over. And I think 1G, 28.1G is the corruption cases, offenses. Now, it seems to me that the facts of this case is police corruption. I see you nod, you agree with me?
Yes.
Okay. Which is different from a complainant who is complaining that they took his cigarettes. So we've got two different things. A complainant says they came and stole my cigarettes. Empd and Ipid say that act of stealing, we deal with it, it constitutes an act of corruption. You've got the photographs, you've got the statement of now a reluctant witness who tells you what happened. And then you've got evidence that we've gone through now, which places the three officers on the scene. You see them packing things into boxes. And I think you tell us in the statement, in your statement at paragraph 52, that 52.1, the EMPD members made an entry in the exhibit register citing that the exhibit was found as abandoned. However, the investigation revealed that the exhibits were seized from the store and the owner is known to them. So you, Ipid, know they are lying when they say that, when they say it was abandoned material or abandoned goods, because there's investigation has revealed that. And then in 52.3, you say the photo album shows that they seized more than 2 boxes of cigarettes while they only booked 2. So there you do have evidence of criminal conduct, of corruption, if you like, because of the entries that they have made. I don't understand how the prosecution of these people on the charge of corruption cannot proceed, even with a reluctant witness, because the complainant, as I understand it, on such a corruption case would be the EMPD or would be Ipid, and why that objective evidence is not sufficient, at least to create a case that the 3 accused should be called upon to answer in a criminal matter. Why is that so? I understand the bits about a witness not being there and the prosecutor saying without the witness we are in trouble. But these, for me, appear to be instances where a case of corruption can be prosecuted if Ipid pushes it that they should be prosecuted for corruption, and your witnesses are EMPD and his records, or Mr. Magagula and his records. Why is that not done or not doable?
Such decision lies with the prosecuting authority because they have all these facts. Ipid are not the one that decide that this matter must continue, even if we will wish to do so. But the prosecuting authority is the one to formulate the charges. This is one of many dockets where criminal charges are being withdrawn, even if we are not happy. So that decision of prosecuting without the witness lies with them. There was another case, a simple case because it was shown in media also. It was corruption. The police were seen loading copper. We arrested those police officers, and then it was 2 of them. We investigated, finalized, and then it reached that stage of trial, and then came the time for subpoena. We tried to locate the address of the witness. Now the witness was running away from us. At some stage, he was picking his phone until he did not pick his phone. And we had the DPP did not immediately, like in this case also, did not immediately withdraw the case. They said, make effort. At the end of the day, we didn't find the complainant, and then it was withdrawn. So without the victim, the powers lies with the prosecuting authority. So we as Ipid, we cannot say.
Does the Ipid engage, and not on a case-by-case basis, but as a going activity, engage with the NDPP, if not NDPP, whatever appropriate structure that deals with prosecutions, to deal with these kind of cases? Because to me, a civilian, it doesn't make sense that just because the complainant to a case of theft has disappeared, police cannot be, EMPD members are not charged for corruption when there is objective evidence of that constitutes a criminal offense, right? Is there a process where you engage? And I want to give you context of it, that we've had evidence, for example, about KZN, political killings, that there were complaints about matters being withdrawn, and the police were complaining that the prosecution withdraws cases on the basis that there isn't enough evidence to proceed with prosecution. And the police believe we have given you sufficient. And as a result, a forum was set up where now they engage with each other, and they go to a point where now there's a proper understanding of what is possible, what is doable, why certain things are not happening. I mean, it seems to me that it should be the kind of things that are addressed, not on a case-by-case basis, but as, if you like, operating procedures or memoranda that, there are cases that are complainant dependent, but there are cases that are not complainant from the same facts. Some charges are not complainant dependent, and surely they should be prosecuted. And there could not be an excuse why Stolz has ended up resigning without being charged for something like this, for corruption, in fact. Is there a forum where the prosecution and the Ipid engage with each other about matters and problems and how to improve prosecution rates and?
Yes, there is such meetings where Ipid engage with NPA.
What is that engagement? I mean, maybe you're not the one to speak to it. If you say to us, Mr. Kefelakai is better placed, or even the executive director of Ipid, if you say to us, that's the person that is better placed to speak to this, I'm happy to leave it.
Yeah, in our province, I will say Mr. Ndlovu is better placed to speak to this because he is the one who is attending such meeting with NPA.
And what is Mr. Ndlovu's position?
Deputy Director.
For Gauteng?
Yeah, his full name is Sandile Ndlovu.
All right.
He attend the meeting, I'm sure it's monthly, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. All right. So he would be able to say what those engagements are about, and whether, and from him we'll know whether these kind of matters that we are raising get addressed, or that I'm raising.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Law, our list is growing. Remember, I think we started with Mr. Kefelakai, and then
Yes.
Ms. Masuku, and now...
No, Ms. Masuku was the witness yesterday.
Yes, and today I don't think this is the first subject. Can you please...
Yes, we are keeping a running...
Keep a running list of all these, and...
matters to be referred to their seniors.
Yes,
for engagement with the
For
commission.
full, yeah.
Indeed.
Thank you.
We shall. Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Baloyi. Staying then with this matter, I just want to deal with two things before we finish here. Please go to page 220 of annexure TLM2, the same file. 220, it's top right corner in red. That is a document bearing Benonicus number 215/07/2022, and it's just headed memorandum. What is this document? Who's the author of this document? Well, it provides a summary of the case. I just wanted perhaps to know
it is the summary,
who compiled it.
Yeah, of the case, and it was compiled by...
Because just to assist, at page 222 at the end, the last entry is comments, SPP for your recommendation, please. Are you able to help us identify what the document is and who authored it?
Warrant Officer Ben.
Warrant Officer Ben.
Yes.
Was that the investigating officer?
Yes.
Okay. Now, and thank you for that. I see from this document, in particular, I'd like to refer you to page 221, item 9. And at item 9 is a summary of what would appear to be Constable Mackenzie's statement, as was obtained in this matter. I'm going to read a few lines to you, and I'm going to pose a question, and I don't know if you have the answer, because I don't know these matters. Constable Mackenzie, in brackets A9, will state that he was on duty when he, Constable Stolz, and Constable Twala visited the supermarket. Inside, they found one Indian and one African male. They requested documentation authorizing the trade of cigarettes, but was told that the manager was not there and available to come to the shop either. Now, this is from a police officer. Can you tell us more about the documentation authorizing the trade of cigarettes? I personally am not aware of it. What documentation could they potentially have been looking for? Do you know?
They will be looking for the invoice of cigarette inside the where did they buy the cigarette?
Why does that become a police matter, and how? If you know.
This one I do not know. But what I can say, the cigarettes that was inside the shop, it was lawfully inside the shop because the owner bought the cigarette.
Are you, in your experience, would this conduct where Empd officials take the initiative to go into a random shop and ask for proof of ownership of the cigarettes or any other stock in the shop? Is that lawful in your view?
It is not lawful. Those things is in municipality. I don't know that unit. There are those people dedicated to go and check the shops if they are compliance. For instance, it is a shop where they sell food. There are certificates that are being given by the municipality, and there will be a tax certificate from SARS. So it is not the duties of the EMPD to do such things.
Thank you. And on that statement, I see you advise that it was authored by Warrant Officer Ben. At page 222, at item 18.
Just to close off the point you just made. In essence, this was a search and seizure. And the default position with regards to searches and seizures is to have a warrant, a search and seizure warrant. And the exception is if you reasonably believe that by first going to obtain a search and seizure warrant, the purpose of the search and seizure warrant may well be defeated. So you search and seize immediately. But now you have cigarettes, they are the stock in the shop, and what reasonable belief could there have been that these cigarettes would suddenly disappear and that you cannot first obtain a search and seizure warrant before you search for and you then seize them? I guess the point I'm making ties in with what Ms. Sillo has just made, and indeed with the point that Commissioner Baloyi made much earlier. Commissioner Baloyi's point being, oh gosh, I forget what it was now. But point is, it was, why did the NPA not prosecute there was objective material for it to prosecute. For example, why I say what I've just said ties in with that point by Commissioner Baloyi is, here you have police officers, they just pop in, they search and seize, no warrant of arrest or no search and seizure warrant in circumstances where there was no reason for them not to first go and get a search and seizure warrant. So there are, as Commissioner Baloyi said, objective facts that appear to be sufficient to ground a prosecution. Again, I guess it's not criticizing you, it's more the issue of the NPA.
Thank you, Chair. I'd referred us to page 222, and because you had informed us that the author of the document is Warrant Officer Ben. At item 18, there's just an entry, I/O, is that investigating officer statement by DWO Ben, A18. So that is the Ben you say is the author of this
Yes.
document. Thank you. And I guess on this file, lastly, if you turn to page 249, this is a handwritten document. At the bottom, I think it's dated 2023/05, but it doesn't give me an actual date. It appears on its face to be by Brigadier Julius Dr. Mkwanazi, who sets out his ID number, employed by the city of Ekurhuleni as the Metropolitan Police Director at Empd. Can you explain what this document is? It doesn't have a covering page.
This document is called the Commander Statement. Commander Statement, duty on, duty off statement to confirm that these members that are subject of investigation are working in his unit and they were on duty on the day of the incident.
Now, I'll come back to this question. Just to place on record what then Brigadier Mkwanazi tells us. He says, and I quote, "One would like to confirm that Officer Bafana Twala, Officer Adrian Mackenzie were on duty with Officer Kisha Stalls doing crime prevention in Ekurhuleni on the 6th of July 2022, working at Binoni area." That's the second paragraph I'm reading. And the final paragraph states, "I was informed as the supervisor about crime prevention duties of the day." And then it's signed and has got a number, I guess it's his service number. So you say this is a commander statement.
Yes.
He confirms that they were on duty.
Yes, he confirms.
But it doesn't tell you whether or not they were engaged in a lawful operation that is registered within the EMPD.
Yes, it doesn't tell.
How do you establish that that was the fact, that they were actually undertaking a lawful operation as instructed by the commander or in terms of EMPD legislation, related legislation?
In this statement, he never told us anything about the operation, if it is lawful or it was unlawful. But the purpose of the duty on, duty off statement is to also touch on that.
Now, I think this is the second statement we see from Brigadier Mkwanazi. And I think his commander statements are famous for brevity. We dealt with a document called SAP 299. You recall, it was an official form.
Yes.
That then has to be completed. We have in the files an SAP 13 that you have referred to. And once again, that is an official document that poses certain questions that must be responded to. Is there a document that prescribes how a duty on, duty off report by a commander should be and what information he shall provide? Or is it up to every commander to decide what information to provide?
There is no such document to state what the commander must state in his statement.
Now, you as an investigating officer for Ipid, when you receive a document such as this, which simply tells you that they were on duty on the specific date, and then the commander says, I was informed as the supervisor about crime prevention duties of the day, and that's it. What value is this document to you, to your investigations?
This document, the value of it will show me that, okay, these members is to confirm that indeed they are EMPD members, and then they were on duty or off duty. On duty and off duty, it will show me if they acted on their own initiative whilst not on duty. So in this scenario, Julius Mkwanazi is telling me that these people were on duty, so he is tying himself that they were on duty. So the predicament with EMPD is that they have no official register to check that indeed this person on this day was on official duty. In SAPS, we found those registers as SAP 15 is an official register. You can't throw it away. When you feel it, it will be filed that this member on this day was on duty. Even if you come after 3 years, that no man, you committed a crime somewhere in Nelspruit, we want to check that you were on duty on that day. So this one of EMPD, you will get that statement on that specific day when you approach them. I want to see if this member was on duty and through the car, did he book the car, the official car on that day? So you'll get it, you'll got those answers from those registers like but they do not have. Their things are not, there is no logic. Like stalls. Stalls can simply wake up 12 o'clock midnight and go and do your duties. Tomorrow, when something has happened, we come to Julius to say, can you tell us, do you know this member? Is it your member? You'll say, it's my member. Was she on duty? 12 o'clock midnight, Julius will write 3 sentences and say, she's my member. She was on duty. I'm aware she was working in the area of Cape Town Park. So the EMP, how they work, most especially in specialized unit, you can. It seems as if you just do the job willy-nilly. You can wake up 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. I don't know how they work. There is no order. Basically, what I'm meaning, there is no order.
If I can follow up on that, what power do you have to compel somebody like Brigadier Mkwanazi as commander to provide more detail than I was informed as the supervisor about crime prevention duties of the day? I was informed by who? Do you have any powers?
To provide more details, yes.
To compel him to provide more details?
Yeah.
Or are you forced to accept the report as he chooses to write it with this bare minimum?
No, we do have more power. We do have power to ask him to answer whatever we want, unless if he himself is a suspect, because we must respect his constitutional right. But in terms of him not being a suspect, he must answer to what we are looking for.
Then, if we go back to the questions posed to you by Commissioner Baloyi and the chair, this is a clear case of corruption. You, as the investigator, are provided with this word salad that Brigadier Mkwanazi puts forward as a commander statement. What steps did you take to ensure that he provides you with appropriate details to be able to either support the criminal charges to be leveled against these members or the ongoing criminal case? A reading of that document just tells you it is absolutely useless. You say you have the power to compel him to provide more. Did you in this case? If not, why not?
I did not compel him to give more details. At that time when I took it, what I'm looking for, maybe I overlooked more details, but at that time, my question to him, it was to state that these members are Empd members, and then they were on duty on the day of the incident. Now you have clarified me with more details that you were supposed to look at this. At that stage, I was not clued up to look for more regarding his own statement. So I accepted this.
Okay. Thank you for that. Yes, Commissioner Baloyi.
Isn't this some of the areas of improvement that you should be, especially because you've got the experience with the SEPs?
Yes.
You know how the SEPs does things. You've told us there's a record. You can go back 5 years and you will find the full record
Yes.
of a member's deployment or operation. Assuming they didn't lose their pocketbook, but SAPS has got its own records.
Yeah.
Surely from experience, you should be to make your job easy, but for accountability too, for individual officers' accountability, these are areas where you should be proposing improvements because it affects how you do your work. It affects the kind of information, the quality of information that you get. And so you should be, without even prompting by the commission, I'm surprised that up to now, Ipid has not said to MPS that you need to introduce these kind of records because for purposes of our investigations and whatever recommendations we make, it is necessary for us to get that kind of information, and it must be in a formal form. Maybe it's because you guys are overloaded with work. We're asking you because I have the benefit of sitting outside, but perhaps there should be reflections on what should you be requiring in order to improve the quality of your work. Do you accept that would be of assistance?
Yes, I agree with you, Commissioner. That are areas of improvement, more especially with these units, because members working at the units, they do as they wish because maybe their commanders have given them that leverage. But those that work certain hours that you work your office, you report on duty 2 days, 2 days night shift. Those one we can follow up the record because we know that Monday, Tuesday, this member is working day shift. The Wednesday, Thursday is working night shift and then is off. So this specialized unit will never know. Somebody decide to work 1 o'clock and raid a Pakistani shop. There is no logic there, and then the commander will always support that. I'm aware of that member. So it is what must be when we engage with EMPD, and then they must improve on those areas.
I think because it has to be the scariest and most concerning thing to know that I could meet up with an EMPD officer, and I have a bad experience with them with serious consequences, and there's no record. There can never be a record cannot be found of that person having been on duty. I would say it's something that Ipid should be concerned about.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Thank you, Commissioner.
Ms. Lillo, we derailed you a long time ago. You were taking the witness to paragraph 52.
Yes, I was, and it was, which is where I wanted him to, what I wanted him to deal with. However, the issues I've since addressed
All right.
are issues I would have addressed after 52.
All right.
So I've taken care of that part of things
Thank
to
you.
follow up on the questions that the commissioners had posed. So now we're back at paragraph 52, page 13. Then if you could just finalize on this particular case, what you say, starting at paragraph 52.
This provisional withdrawal happened in spite of the state able to prove the following facts. The EMPD members made an entry in the exhibit register citing that the exhibit was found as abandoned. However, the investigation revealed that the exhibit was seized from the store and the owner is known to them. According to EMPD members, the suspect escaped from their custody, and yet they failed to open a case of escaping from lawful custody. The photo album shows that they seized more than 2 boxes of cigarettes, while they only booked 2. These are matters that can still be pursued against these members departmentally. Current status of the case: the matter remains provisionally withdrawn. The complainant was not willing to be a witness against the police officer. 2 other witnesses, both of whom are foreigners, Malawian and Bangladesh citizens, have already left the country. These are the victims of victim of kidnapping and another person who witnessed the action of the police on the day respectively, after providing us with statement.
And you have a last point in paragraph 55?
It can only be re-enrolled if the complainant is willing to testify. I continue to make efforts to persuade him.
Thank you. Commissioners, unless there are further questions on this particular case, that would then conclude the Benoni case.
I think, Mr. Lo, earlier on with the witness, you asked him a question about whether the EMPD, in fact, I think you said the EMPD have said they don't have information about this case. Am I?
No, I had inquired whether or not Ipid had filed a report, like a negative report to EMPD to enable them to initiate disciplinary processes.
Yes. Okay, maybe let me ask my question. Anyway, I think you said in response to that line of discussion about whether a report was filed and EMPD knowing about this case, that you have provided them with documents. Are you able, as you sit there, to say what kind of documents and you provided them? And I ask because you say here that departmental action, notwithstanding the problem with the criminal prosecution, the department, and when you say department, I take it you mean EMPD, can act on this matter. Is that, when you say department, who are you referring to here?
Yeah, departmentally, it can be pursued successfully because we have, without even using the witnesses,
Yes.
based on the facts of the registers
Yes.
and the escape of, it is them who is telling us in their statement that this suspect of them of cigarettes escaped from them.
Yes.
So if a suspect escape, you have a duty to open a case of escaping from lawful custody. So their employer can ask why you didn't open a case of escaping. The victim in his statement has stated that at some stage when they were traveling to Benoni, he was told to give them something and then so that they can leave him, and he gave them an amount of 200 and they said, you must go.
Yes.
But when they wrote their statement, they changed the scenario as if he escaped.
Yes. I guess what I'm asking is what you have in 52.1, 52.2, 52.3, which is what I referred to earlier, that all of that seems prosecutable criminally and is not reliant on the complainant. What you've listed there, 52, 1, 2, 3, is that material that you have given to the EMPD or that you have a way of knowing that they are in possession of, including the photographs that we looked at?
Yes, this they have.
They have what we have here.
Yes.
Okay. All right. No, thank you. I'm answered.
And just perhaps to follow up on that, earlier I'd understood you to say that you had given the entire docket to Miss Binel, you said?
Binel
within
Mutse.
the integrity and standards unit.
Yeah.
Was that your testimony?
Yes.
So for the commission to establish the extent to which EMPD was aware of what transpired in this matter, Ms. Binel, or at least Mr. Erasmus, should be able to advise the commissioners accordingly.
Yes.
Is that your testimony?
Yes.
You're saying we should turn to Mr. Erasmus and we'll get our answer?
Yes, and through annexes which I have, I'm sure we are still going to go through
Yes.
it to prove that I have given them the copies.
Okay.
I had made a note, Ms. Sillo, that she gave the docket to EMPD. She gave it to Ms. Motsepe in 2023.
Yes, that is in TLM 11 and 12, I think. Yes.
Let us adjourn
you.
and resume at 2 p.m. Let's adjourn.
Thank you, Chair.